last resort, and you know, against a grizzly bear, I don't think my chances would be particularly good. But it's something. It's better than my bare hands.
And there's one last thing Mark has to do.
Well, my food and anything that smells like toothpaste and sunscreen safely in a bag up a tree. So if any grizzlies or other bears come into the area, hopefully they won't associate it with my tent, which is quite a distance away.
The precautions pay off, and after a bear-free night, Mark is back on the road. So far, he's cycled 1,100 miles and is entering North British Columbia along the epic 1,300-mile Alcan Highway. This is the main lifeline linking Alaska to the US. Even so, Mark's got no fear of traffic jams here.
I was needing a break for the bike from the bike, and standing in the middle of the road is as good a place as any, because I know nothing's going to come past in the next half hour. There's literally nothing out here. Alaska's a couple of weeks that way, the US is weeks that way, and in between is billions of trees and millions of bears.
Crawling up a hill.
Everybody's about a half a day. I wipe my window, Mr. Don't be late. I get the up and try to concentrate, but life is just a slow train crawling up a hill.
With 11,000 miles to go, Mark is beginning to realize this adventure will be even harder than his record-breaking journey around the world.
I really feel like I'm in the Rockies now, starting to go over, rather than sort of rolling roads all day, these big passes, and this is the highest pass I'm going to have done, over 2,000 meters. Oh, but I think I've got another couple hours climbing yet before I get to the summit.
As Mark heads south, he's beginning to have more human contact. But it's not exactly the kind he wants.
90% of the traffic on the road are these huge recreational vehicles, these big RVs, the size of buses. You can drive these massive RVs, and I do mean they're the size of a bus, and tow a car behind it on a normal car driver's license. So you've got elderly Americans driving a bus on quite often narrow roads, and so being on a bike, I'm the lowest common denominator and normally shoved to the side.
The RVs have large fuel tanks and carry their own provisions, meaning many remote supply stops have closed down. For Mark, this means finding the basics for survival is proving difficult.
It's 10 past 11 at night. It's not been a great day. When I got to where I planned to camp, you know, I hadn't packed that much water or food because it looked like a good place in the map. It was, I couldn't stop there, I couldn't get any more water, and the next place was 80 kilometers. So I've had to ride on into the night, and nothing has passed me in the last 2.5 hours. I just saw my first grizzly bear about half an hour ago, so like 10:30 at night, and it was about 20 meters ahead of me and just ran across the road. I'm not enjoying being cycling at this night. It's a little bit spooky.
Canada's uninhabited wilderness has forced Mark to push huge daily distances, but he's finally arrived at a location where nature will at last treat him kindly.
I'm on a walkway through a forest in northern British Columbia, and this is the trail to the natural hot springs. I've been really looking forward to getting here. My legs have taken a bit of a battering, so natural hot springs might be exactly the remedy I need. Wow. It is incredibly warm. That's got to be good for the tired legs. I'm surprised there's not some bears in here. If I was a bear, I would definitely chill out and have a bath in here. This is cozy.
It's not just Mark's body that's been taking a battering. Only 1,500 miles in, his bike has already had 1 broken pedal and 10 punctures. And he's run out of inner tubes and repair patches.
Just had my 3rd puncture in 3 days. If I get another puncture, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'll have to hitch a lift to the nearest bike shop, which is hundreds of miles away.
That's not to mention how the rugged Alcan highway has completely worn through the rubber of Mark's back tyre. His only hope is to switch the tyres around.
All done. So my back tyre's now my front's my back, and it needs to make about another 500 miles before I get to a bike shop.
Mark has had hardly any human contact for weeks, but travelling at bike speed is about to give him an encounter with the real Canada.
One minute I was standing on the roadside wondering what the free camping was about and just wondering what the sound of music was, pedaling to see what was happening, and just found this little quaint music festival happening for the weekend.
I bet that's rich for in fancy dining halls. I'm probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. And those beats will keep me moving. And that's what tortures me. One more time, John. One more time!
There's no signs. It's not advertised. People just know this happens, and I've just been welcomed in with open arms. I've been fed and just singing the most brilliant music from all over Canada.
And I don't want to do nothing bad.
This is what I love about traveling, not knowing what's around the corner.
In the midst of a heat wave, aching limbs and bike trouble, Mark decides it's time for a break with the locals from the music festival.
How far are we going down here?
About 3K.
3 kilometers?
Yeah,
And that takes how long?
about an hour.
So we're not going anywhere fast.
No. Fun for the whole family.
Taking a tractor tube down the river, is this common? Is this
common up here, yeah. We do this often.
And what do most people do in terms of work?
The lumber industry is the major one up here. That's where most of us work. And the guy you met last night there, Regan, he's our foreman at work. It's the lumber industry basically that keeps us going up here.
So he's a lumberman, but he's also a musician.
Yeah, he just recently started playing guitar and found he liked it, got a band together, and
It seems that a lot of people that live in rural parts of Canada have got a talent for art or music or something.
yeah. Well, the cool thing is he didn't even know that he had it. He picked up a guitar and found he liked it, and he's really come along quite a ways.
Refreshed, and with over 2,000 miles under his belt, from the Cottonwood River, Mark has got to tackle 400 miles of punishing hill summits in 40-degree heat before he reaches the US border.
There's something about big climbs which focuses the mind. You know, pushing your that when your legs are screaming and you want to